Hey guys, Cool Blind Way back. I'm Rick.
I'm Maggie.
And we're back with Haikyuu. Last time on Haikyuu, what happened?
We saw Suga getting to play in a real tournament game, and he wowed us all with his ability to give all of his teammates like suggestions and tactical advice
And read them emotionally as well as tactically.
And he communicated, which was like a big thing for Kageyama, who had just been basically being silent and making calculations in his head the whole time.
Yeah, communication is definitely the biggest difference. But even so, it still wasn't quite enough because they are down one set.
Yes. But
And Suga's coming out.
Kageyama's coming back in.
He is. And I think he's learned some things already.
All the wiser, yes.
So let's see how it happens right now. All right. Tied up. 1-1.
Yeah, that's amazing. We got to see a little bit of Oikawa's history and what he was like before he was this weird Spider King controller type.
Well, I mean, he seemed a lot like Kageyama in that he was the best. Or, like, he was the best in his small pond. But then he went against someone better and couldn't overcome until he learned to rely on his team more.
Yeah, and even then, it's like, even when he found someone he couldn't beat, like on another team, after that, he met someone who was just better than him at what he was best at.
Yeah, just naturally better.
Yeah. Which would be hard, I think. Very hard.
Yeah, I mean, Suga seems to deal with it pretty well, but not everyone is Suga.
Yeah, Suga, well, I mean, I think Suga's got a lot more well-rounded, like, personality and view of himself. Like, he's not quite so short-sighted to think that... I feel like he's not quite so short-sighted to think that high school begins and ends, like, volleyball, like, that's his entire life, and that's what he must be best at. Suga seems to have developed more of his personality and more of his skills. On a, an emotional level. Like... He's going to be a real person someday, not just stuck in high school, basically.
Yeah, I suppose so. I want to see them in high school forever. Just overcoming obstacle after obstacle. Volleyball. I mean, they might go all the way to the pros. You never know. It's possible. I don't know if all of them will make it that far. Like, we might get a reshuffling.
Yeah, and I don't know if all of them would want to go that far.
I think Hinata definitely does. Is
there such a thing as pro volleyball, though?
And there's also, like, volleyball in the Olympics and stuff. Like
those are specifically amateur.
Yes, but there's a level beyond just collegiate.
Yeah. Wait, do they have collegiate volleyball in Japan?
I don't know. Probably.
All these questions.
If they have high school, I assume they would have college.
What are some of the answers to these basic questions?
I want to know how Kageyama got the name Flying Fish. Like, why his name means that, what that relates to him.
Maybe we'll meet his, like, parents someday. And we'll find out his mom's, like, this ultra doter, and she's awesome and sweet and cuddly, and his father's, like, always fishing or something like that.
And also, like, how did he change so much? Like, in the flashback, we saw him, and he was just this, like, sweet, quiet kid.
Yeah, like, wanting to learn and such.
Really happy.
Just thrilled to be playing with the game. He's a lot more like Hinata. Hinata is just like thrilled to like, I'm playing with people.
I imagine it was like the pressures of having to be the best that got to him. I wonder who put those pressures on him.
I mean,
if it was just himself or if it was his parents. Or
I think a lot of it's him.
School.
My opinion, I think a lot of it was him. And those are the worst pressures.
He didn't have him at the beginning there, and he'd been playing, like, for a long time before that, so, like, what changed?
Maybe there aren't any tournaments previously? Like, they started middle school?
I don't think so. I think they talked about grade school tournaments before, I feel like.
Yeah, but maybe they aren't, like, taken as serious,
Well, but who takes them seriously? Is it, like, the school that's taking them seriously, and the coaches, and therefore they're putting that pressure on the players?
I don't know. I mean, maybe Kageyama took some of his cues off of Oikawa, who's being so like, I must be the best, and I must beat this one person, I must get this best setter award, and I must do all these things. Maybe Kageyama took his cues off of him, since he did have slightly a mentor relationship with him.
He did try to punch him. But...
yeah, he tried to slap the crap out of him, and it looked like Kageyama was like maybe 10 years old.
Oh.
I don't know how old he would have been, but he looked tiny compared to Oikawa.
But Oikawa's friend Iwa just headbutted him, so that kind of took away the dramaticness of like the slap.
I don't know.
You know?
I mean, I'd be a lot more startled and horrified by someone slapping like the crap out of a 10-year-old child than seeing a grown man headbutting another grown man.
Yeah, but they weren't grown men. They were.
But they're on the same level.
I mean, they're like 11 or 12 as compared to 10.
But like they're on the same level. It's like there's not that difference.
It's like 1 year apart or 2.
Do you know how big a difference there is in 1 year and 2 years apart? Think about how big Evie was a couple years ago.
I guess, but
and she's like backhanded the crap out of herself 2 years ago.
Just doesn't seem like that much of a difference, I guess.
I mean, there's also just the fact that Kageyama was trusting him and asking for advice and going to him for help.
Yeah.
And
not realizing...
the response was...
and not realizing, like, how he would feel if he had been replaced by him on the court. Like, not having that emotional awareness, which he still seems to be struggling with. Although, getting better at communicating.
And Tsukishima was so surprised. I wondered... I feel like I said several episodes back, is like, I wonder, like, if Tsukishima just needs, like, lots of pats on the back or people to be like, good job, and then all of a sudden he'll be like, oh, it's warm here, that's loving.
Because, I mean, you know, Kageyama didn't communicate with anyone, but really no one communicated with him either. It's not like Tsukishima before this said, like, you know, leave the spiking up to me and just give me a more generalized set or anything.
No, but, I mean, Tsukishima was also, like, the ultra bitch.
Yeah, but, like, no one else did either, you know? It doesn't feel like it should be the setter's job to have to go to the person. It seems like they should also be able to come to the setter as well.
So you're saying they all have communication issues?
Yes.
I agree. They're high schoolers.
Except for Tanaka,
and
who always speaks what's on his mind. At 100% volume all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
So, when do you think we're going to hit our first, like, overtime game? Do you think we're going to hit overtime here?
There's such a thing?
Well, as in, like, if they're both at 25, you have to win by 2 points.
Yeah.
So, like, is that going to happen here, do you think? Or is it going to be a landslide, or what's going to happen?
I don't know. I mean, we've got to win, right?
I think we're going to win, yes.
Maybe? What episode are we on? How many episodes are in the season?
It's usually like 25 or 26.
So if we lose, one episode for planning for next season, one episode for crying, one episode for losing. Oh my gosh, we can lose! I don't know. Gosh. I don't want to think about it. I just want to watch it and enjoy it.
All right, well.
Oh my gosh, and the high five.
High 10.
High 10. That was so beautiful. He's just waiting for it.
I think he wants you to high 10.
That was so funny. Oh my gosh. I love him so much.
That was really great. The show's great. I love it. I can't wait to see the next one.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Haikyuu. You can see the next one right now over at patreon.com/blindwave. Also, be sure to check out twitch.tv because we streamed Kalimba, which was a lot of fun. A very hard platformer co-op. It was hilarious. You should go watch that highlight over at twitch.tv/blindwave.